What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and so far, Marvel Phase 4 has been kind of a joke. It's pushed a lot of people away, and with the exception of Spider-Man No Way Home, which did massive things at the box office by shockingly focusing on characters that people cared about and telling a good story, albeit throwing a lot of cameos in there. There were some people that thought, you know what? Maybe they've learned their lesson from that. I think it's pretty obvious the answer is no. It's full speed ahead with the MCU. Kevin Feige told us this years ago, what their plan would be for Marvel going forward. It was all about diversity and representation. And to be fair, he's given us exactly what he promised, even if it's not something that a lot of people want. Because shockingly, when that becomes the focal part of your stories, when you start bringing in these characters and pushing these characters that have failed over and over and over again in the comic books, people will walk away, just like they did for things like Eternals, just like they did for things like Shang-Chi, which you can brag all you want about making $10 million in the box office. It's incredibly disappointing for that movie. And it looks like Thor Love and Thunder is going to do exactly that. And with Taika Waititi directing it, we really shouldn't be surprised. But we do finally have confirmation of something that got put out there months ago. Thor Love and Thunder Lego toy set describes Tessa Thompson's character as King Valkyrie. Marvel continues to embrace identity politics. And we knew this when we saw it at Endgame. And Thor said, Asgard needs a king. And, was pointing to Valkyrie, wanted Valkyrie to become the king, which is so crazy because when you think about it, the fact that they want her to be a king instead of a queen, the fact that they're doing this gender swap role to make her the king, that would mean inherently that you don't think queen is a powerful enough title to give to her. You don't find enough value in that phrase to give it to her. Isn't that weird how it works like that? But let's get through this article somehow. A recently debuted Thor Love and Thunder themed toy set, The Goat Boat, described Tessa Thompson's character as King Valkyrie. The official description for the set states, a Viking ship containing iconic characters from Marvel Studios' Thor Love and Thunder movie makes Lego Marvel The Goat Boat an ideal gift for kids age 8 and up. I don't really care about who it's for. The long boat is drawn through the skies by legendary goats, Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder, who are raised off the ground so kids can easily push the ship along as they play. And there you go, right here, right from the comic books. There's Thor, there's Tooth Gnasher, and Tooth Grinder. Along with the longboat, it says the set includes 5 minifigures: Thor, Mighty Thor, oh, we know who that is, don't we? Valkyrie, Korg, and Gore, and a host of weapons and accessories. As you can see on the packaging, Valkyrie is described as King Valkyrie. Thompson's character being described as King Valkyrie shouldn't really be a surprise. At the end of Avengers Endgame, Valkyrie tells Thor, your people need a king. He responds, no, they already have one. She says, that's funny. Are you being serious? It's time for me to be who I am rather than who I'm supposed to be. But you're a leader. That's who you are. Thor even refers to her as your majesty. As their conversation ends, of course he does. Not McQueen, but your majesty. And then this is going back years ago when we saw all these incredible headlines like this. How stunning and brave Marvel. Marvel's Valkyrie announced as MCU's first openly LGBTQ plus superhero, and everybody clapped. Kevin Feige announced Thor Love and Thunder. The moderator asked Thompson, day one is King of Asgard. What would Valkyrie first change in New Asgard? Thompson responded, I think, first of all, as king, as new king, she needs to find her queen. So that will be their first order of business. She has some ideas. I'll keep you posted. And then I don't know. What's cool about Asgard? It's been mentioned, Asgard's not a place but a people. So I think just reinvesting in her people and a cool thing to create refuge for any person that might rule it. So that to me is perfect. Asgard, the kind of kingdom she would want to rule over. So I think that's what she'll do. The entire idea that you've already race swapped these characters that are derived from Norse mythology to come into the comics. We saw what they did with Idris Elba. They did the same thing when they brought Tessa Thompson in. These are Norse mythology characters that are being adapted. They weren't depicted that way in the comic books, but now they're depicted this way in the MCU for diversity and representation. And she's going to be gay, and she's going to be a king instead of a queen. because she needs to find her queen. This is Marvel. This is the MCU. And this is, quite frankly, Taika Waititi and Tessa Thompson. They're very, very politically motivated individuals. That's obvious. But if you thought that they were going to learn the right lesson, if you thought they were going to change their ways or something just because Spider-Man No Way Home got out there, and I thought it was a good movie, not great or anything, but I thought it was a pretty good movie, especially compared to what the MCU's been doing lately, you're wrong. They're going to go further and further down this path and push it as far as they can. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.